Hello, Hilltop. It's Mr. Amici. I hope you've got your dumbbells ready for our bone strengthening exercises today. And the first exercise we're going to start with is our standard curl. So that's when the insides of our hands are facing up. We try to keep our elbows next to our body, and we're just curling or bringing the lower part of our arm up to our chest. If I wanted to exercise bones in my lower part of my arm, from my elbow to my wrist, I would do some curling exercises, and the names of these bones in the bottom part of my arm, remember there's two of them, radius and ulna. So these are great forearm exercises, your standard curl. You could also, remember, rotate so your thumbs are pointing upwards. Thumbs up, everybody. And these would be our hammer curls. And if you squeeze really tight on the dumbbells that you're holding, you'll really feel those muscles in what's called your forearm. So that's from your elbow down to your wrist, and that's where your radius and ulna are located. You'll really feel those muscles working if you squeeze those dumbbells hard when you do your hammer curls to strengthen those bones in our lower body, or in our lower arm. And now, so there's standard, hammer, and who remembers the third curl in our curling sequence with our dumbbells? It's when the backs of your hands are facing up, and this is the reverse curl. Also a great one to exercise those bones in your lower arm. So any kind of curl would be great for strengthening the muscles and the bones in your forearm from the elbow to your wrist. And again, those bones in your forearm are your radius and your ulna. But I feel like exercising my humerus and my clavicle and my scapula right now. Try to think of an exercise you could do where you would strengthen those bones. How about overhead press? Right? Because I'm using this upper part of my arm right here, my humerus, my clavicle or my collarbone in the front, and then my scapula or my shoulder blade in the back. Remember we talked last week that there's a technical term for each one of these bones, but then there's a more common term that you might hear people use more often. So whenever that's the case, I'll be sure to tell you what the technical term is and what the term for when we're just talking casually. Like those things attached to the ends of your hands, what do we call them most of the time? Your fingers. But they're also called phalanges is their technical term. So you decide, do you have phalanges attached to your hands or do you have fingers? I would say it's both. So I've got my overhead press right now, exercising my humerus, my scapula, and of course my clavicle, which is my collarbone. Is there any way I could alter this exercise? Yes, watch this. Rotate. So now I've got my arms in the front and I can overhead press, and I'm holding my dumbbells as if I was doing a hammer curl. And I could turn that into a combination movement. Hammer curl, overhead press. So I keep my arms facing, or my hands facing the same direction the whole time, but I flex my arms at the elbow, and then I bring my shoulders up and I overhead press. Combination movement. We've done these before. So this combination movement would be exercising all these bones in my upper body, like collarbone, shoulder blades, our humerus, also known as the funny bone, and our radius and ulna, those lower arm bones. All right. We're going to try some lateral raises now. So my arms stay straight, out to the side, and down. Keep my arms straight the whole time. I'm not going to tell you yet. Guess some bones that you're exercising and muscles right now. Let's see, I'm raising my arms up, so I have to use my shoulder muscles, my clavicle and my scapula, my shoulder bones, as well as those humerus bones, the ones at the top part of my arm, and my lower arm bones, my radius and ulna. And if you squeeze those dumbbells real tight, that's where you can feel those lower arm muscles getting that exercise. So this is a lateral raise out to the side. And now we can do frontal raise in front. I'm going to put my two together as if it was just one, like a barbell, and I'll raise it up. Strengthening all those same muscles and bones that we've been talking about for these previous exercises. Raise them up. Looks good. Okay, so that was lateral raise, frontal raise. Now what I'd like to do is spend a little time working on that core, those middle body muscles, your rib cage, your abdominals, your obliques. And what we're going to do, especially as if these are heavier weights, is we're going to try those side bends, but you really got to pull your body back up. Because this weight that I have down here is heavy, so I got to pull it back up. And that's working those muscles on the side of my rib cage to help pull that weight from one side back up to the other. And so right now I'm only leaning side to side and back up. Side and back up. Okay, so some side bends, and that'll help strengthen those oblique muscles as well as your rib cage in the front of your body. I think we're doing good right now. We've done a lot of exercise using the top part of our body, but I want to try some exercises using the lower body. So I'd like you to click on the next tile, and we'll focus mostly on lower body exercises, as well as the bones that go along with those exercises, and then some more combination movements where we'll be using our whole body to exercise, strengthening the muscles in our lower body, middle body, and upper body. So click that next tile, and we'll see you for some more exercises. Go Hawks! Bye, everybody.